finally been made in the tragic murder of Maryland mom of 5, Rachel Morin, 10 months after her body was found naked and beaten on a remote hiking trail.
I just want to take this time to thank all of the law enforcement for all their hard work. They really did care about our family and my daughter, that they were going to work diligently to find the person that murdered her. And it's because of that that we have an arrest today.
Police arrested Victor Martinez Hernandez, a migrant who entered the country illegally in February 2023 after reportedly murdering a young woman in El Salvador. Randolph Rice is the attorney for Rachel Morin's family, and he joins me now. Randolph, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. We just heard from Rachel's mom there. How is the family doing, being left with so many questions for so long, finally getting answers, but ones that are very difficult to hear?
Yeah, I mean, right now they're just incredibly relieved that they caught this man. One, because obviously that they can maybe move on or at least get to the process of the legal process in court. And secondly, that they know that he's not out there causing harm to their family or to anybody else in the country. It's also obviously a moment of happiness, I guess, in a 10-month tragic period of time in their life. While it's a little bit of happiness they've brought, they're still obviously very sad that they've lost Rachel. Catching him obviously does not bring Rachel back, but really unfortunate.
Well, this suspect is accused of murdering a young woman in El Salvador before coming to the United States illegally in 2023, and then brutally beating a 9-year-old girl and her mother during a home invasion in Los Angeles before ultimately murdering Rachel. And during the press conference following this man's arrest, Hartford County Sheriff Jeffrey Gallagher had this to say. Listen here.
And I want to now direct these comments to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue and to every member in both chambers of Congress. We are 1,800 miles away here in Hartford County. We are 1,800 miles away from the southern border, and the American citizens are not safe because of failed immigration policies. This is the second time in just 2 years that an innocent Hartford County woman has lost her life to a criminal in our country illegally. Victor Hernandez did not come here to make a better life for himself or for his family. He came here to escape the crime he committed in El Salvador. He came here and murdered Rachel.
So what sort of legal action is the family planning on taking? And does the fact that the suspect is an illegal immigrant, does that factor in?
Well, the family really hasn't even processed that portion of this right now. They're really trying to take in the fact that they have caught the man and that there's the next phases of this process. But the sheriff's right there. You know, this is not a Democrat or Republican problem. This is an American problem. And you would think that the Border Patrol would be able to stop people and say, hey, are you wanted for murder back in your country? If so, you can't come in here. So that's certainly a big problem. And Maryland is a long way from the southern border. So clearly it's not something just affecting the southern states. It is all making its way all the way up to Maryland. And Hartford County, which is a very rural and small county, it can happen anywhere in America, and it's something that Washington really has to fix.
May 20th was Rachel's 38th birthday, and that was the very day investigators uncovered the lead that led to the arrest of the suspect who murdered Rachel. That is an incredible detail.
It is, and we don't know yet what that lead was. We know, obviously, that our firm has put up a $35,000 reward with a couple other individuals. We know that we had a lot of digital campaigns out there, both in English and Spanish. So right now, we really don't know what that lead is. I'm sure we'll find that out during the discovery process when more information comes out. But right now, it's just a lead that led them to this man in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and luckily the FBI was able to grab him that night.
Yeah, well, I mean, there were countless law enforcement agencies who worked this case every single day for the past 10 months. Some of them even traveled to El Salvador to find out who this person is. So incredible work done by them, but unfortunate that that work needed to take place. Randolph, thank you so much for joining us. Our thoughts are with the Morin family this morning.
Thank you, and thank law enforcement. They did a really good job with this case.
Amen to that.
We got a whole lot of major stories that we're following right now, from the heat to the arrest of singer Justin Timberlake out on Long Island. But we're going to start with breaking news in Queens. That's where police have a person of interest in custody for the sexual assault of a young girl in Kissena Park. Michelle Ross is live in College Point, Queens for us. Michelle, what's the very latest?
Bianca, we're at the police academy in College Point where the NYPD is holding its Medal Day ceremony. Now, immediately after this Medal Day ceremony is over, which should be in just a few moments from now, the NYPD will update the press on that terrifying situation involving that illegal immigrant from Ecuador and that 13-year-old girl. Now, police arrested him early this morning, and according to sources, he was recognized by people in the area who attacked him and held him until police came. This was in another Queens neighborhood about 3 miles from the crime scene. Police say the 25-year-old man raped a 13-year-old girl in Casina Park in Fresh Meadows last week. The girl was with a 13-year-old boy playing in the park when the man approached them with a knife. Police also say he forced them into the woods where he tied them up, and that's when he sexually assaulted the young girl. The attack happened in the middle of the day at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The two teens go to school together and told police that the man told them to stay where they were for 20 minutes, and then he ran off with their phones. Now, once the time was up, they ran to school and told staff there what happened. Here's NYPD Chief of Detectives John Chell on Good Day this morning.
We have a strong person of interest in custody as of this morning.
New Yorkers should feel at ease that we have an individual that we like in custody. Parents should feel at ease. Community should feel at ease.
The description, the markings, the tattoos, we feel confident.
We're calling him a person of interest. We should call him the devil.
Now, that was both Kaz Daughtry and John Chell. At this moment, we don't know what charges are, but we do know that the 25-year-old Ecuadorian man is in police custody. We'll find out more details in just a few moments when we head into the police academy here for that press conference. We're live in College Point, Queens. Michelle Ross, Fox 5 News.
Just glad he is off the streets. Michelle, thank you so much.
Now, 2 armed men believed to be Venezuelan migrants carjacked an off-duty NYPD officer in Harlem. Congressman Mike Lawler, Republican from New York State, joins me now. Congressman, what's the solution here? How do we stop this surge in migrant crime?
Well, we need to secure the border, Stuart.
But we're not going to.
We need more border personnel. We need more court personnel to hear these asylum cases expeditiously. We need to stop the Biden administration's catch and release program. Since Joe Biden took office, over 10 million migrants have crossed our southern border, most of them illegally, 90% being released into the country. And when these asylum cases are finally heard, Stuart, 70% of them are rejected.
Exactly.
This is an absolute disaster created by Joe Biden. And you not only have innocent people getting murdered, obviously you have cops getting carjacked, you have cops getting assaulted, you had cops just a few weeks ago getting shot by illegal immigrants. So this is absolutely out of control. And this is a result of Democrats'
I'm sorry, I just want to add to this because we just got some new data on the numbers here. Internal federal data shows ICE's non-detained docket has exploded to a staggering 7.4 million cases. Now, those are migrants who have been released into the United States pending a court appearance. That's 7.4 million people. Just this is extraordinary. But what are we going to do? You can't deport all of those people. What are we going to do?
Look, at the end of the Trump administration, we were down to below 400,000 border crossings a year. Since Joe Biden took office, it's over 3 million a year. It's crazy. You can't sustain this as a country. And so we obviously need to deal with the immigration crisis long term. I've said this many times. My wife is an immigrant. I've been through this system. It is a fundamentally broken system. But we obviously need to reform it because doing nothing is not actually solving the problem. It's making it worse. But you have to start with the border. You have to show the American people that we're serious about stopping this mass influx. And Stuart, it's not just migrants. It's drugs, fentanyl pouring into our communities, killing tens of thousands of Americans a year. This is an existential crisis that the Biden administration, despite his ridiculous executive order from 2 weeks ago, is doing nothing to address.
One more for you, Congressman. A synagogue in New York City was defaced with anti-Israel graffiti. It follows a week-long escalation of anti-Semitic incidents in this city. Where is Senator Schumer? He's the highest-ranking Jewish elected official in government. He's issued a statement, but we've got no action on his part or anybody else, frankly.
Well, he's too busy trying to figure out how to use a grill, putting cheese on a raw burger. Just comical. But look, Chuck Schumer, the highest-ranking Jewish official in American history, is sitting on a bill right now, the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act, which I passed through the House, 320 to 91, which would help to define anti-Semitism and allow colleges and universities to start cracking down on it and force the Department of Education to crack down on it. That is an immediate step that Chuck Schumer can and should take to help us combat anti-Semitism as it explodes across America. And he is doing nothing but sitting on it and standing in the way. It is shameful. It is disgraceful. And folks should call Senator Schumer's office and demand an up or down vote. It will pass overwhelmingly. 37 U.S. states have already adopted the IRA working definition of anti-Semitism. There is no reason for Chuck Schumer, other than politics, to be sitting on this bill.
Congressman Mike Lawler, thanks very much for joining us today, sir, on a very difficult subject. We appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Moving all of their bad people into our country. And Venezuela just reported to 72% that their crime is down 72% in a year. You know why? Because they moved all their criminals into the United States. That's the thing I don't understand. Why do people want open borders where millions of people have come into our country and you see what's happening to the crime rate? The United States of America has become a dumping ground because of a very mentally deficient president.
Remote, remote, diligently, diligently, migrant, migrant, brutally, brutally, invasion, invasion, rural, rural, surge, surge, asylum, asylum, expeditiously, expeditiously, docket, docket, staggering, staggering, reform, reform, existential, existential, crackdown, crackdown, combat, combat.
If you enjoy this content, please consider subscribing to my channel to stay up to date with future videos. Thank you for watching.